Hi guys, welcome to assembly drawing. Happy to start with this chapter. You have done this in your engineering drawing, but now you're going to do this in CAD. Okay, how do I figure out an assembly drawing? You first start by looking at these, which is your item. Usually they have the type of material these things are made of. Your first item there is your bracket. There's your bracket, that's the front view, that's the left view. The second one is your roller. We've got your bracket, there should be two of them. Okay, I have looked at this, there should be two of this bracket. Then you'll be looking at your roller or your pulley, which is this part there, number 2. And then we'll be looking at your bush, and there's two of these bushes. And then your last one is your pin or your shaft that will go through your bushes. Now for me, engineering knowledge tells me that your pulley, this should be one bracket. I'm confusing this with the next exercise. This is one bracket. Your pulley is going to need to be in the center there. It's obvious, you can see it. You're not going to put it there or there. It should be in the center. It makes sense. Now my engineering knowledge tells me that your pulley or your roller, if you have bushes, there's always going to be two bushes in most cases, that your bushes will always go into your pulley. That's what my engineering knowledge says. So your bushes will go into your pulley or your roller. And then obvious, your shaft or your pin will go through your bushes. That's my engineering knowledge. But however, for students, they have no engineering knowledge. So they need to understand how to work with diameters, which basically consists out of holes and shafts. There we have holes there, and we have a hole there, which is the same hole, which is two of them. There's the hole, and there's two of these holes. That's the only thing you're going to concentrate on. Then that diameter is 16. Going to the next one, to number 2, we can see there's a hole there, and that diameter there for that hole going straight across is 20. So now we've got 16 and 20. The reason why we're moving on 16 and 20 doesn't match. The second one is, if we go to the third one, we already can see that we're having a 20 there. There is two of these bushes. So 20 and 20 matches up. And we can see there is no 20 here, so these are the only 20s that matches. If there was another one, you need to take careful consideration to make sure you fit it properly. However, you would know your bushes will fit into your pulley. So now you will take your first bush and it will go in there, which is 20. And the second bush should always go in on the other side. But before you do that, you need to look at lengths. After your diameter fits, you need to go look at the length. There we have 5, we have 20, so that distance is 15. So putting two bushes in there, we need a distance of 30. So there we have 30, so it will fit in perfectly. So these two parts will turn into one part. So now we have 3 parts. Now going further, we have that shaft that fitted in there, and then we have another hole, and that hole going straight across is 16. So the 20 has been solved, so we're now left with 16. Going to the next part, and we look at these diameters, we have a chamfer there, which is a 3mm chamfer, because we have 70 and 76. It's a 3mm 45 degree, because we can see the difference in the diameters is 6. It's also 3 and 3. So based on this, we have a diameter for the shaft of 16. So that 16 will go through there, because it's the only 16 that can fit through these holes. And there we have another 16. So obviously this will go right through the center of this pulley, through the bushes, and taking this whole contraption where we will have 16 sticking out on the sides, fitting in there. So we have a length of 76 and a length there of 70. So taking this contraption, this will fit in the center, and then we have 40 in the center, 15 millimeters, 15, that gives you 70. In other words, it will take up that whole section of that shaft. So this is where the shaft will stop and the pulley with the bushes will sit in the center. And then we have the 3 millimeters chamfer sticking out on the side. However, this exercise is based on drawing up your parts and storing it for assembly. So let's go look at the bracket first. Drawing up the bracket, and let's start to launch. All these are left click, standard millimeter IPT, metric, and then we're going to choose your XY plane. Going to origin, sorry, we're going to go to XY. Let's just undo there. New, it's on metric, standard millimeter IPT, and I'm going to choose the XY plane. There is the XY plane. I'm going to double click on it, or you can select it there. Right, now I'm going to sketch on the XY plane. Right, first things first, let's go look at the dimensions. We've got 16 diameter and a diameter of 30. That's a radius of 15, so you need to double it. We have 2 rectangles there, and then we have a tangent. So we've got 50 by 15. I'm going to draw that. Why am I drawing this view? Because I can see I can double extrude this part here because it's symmetrical. So let's go and start this. We've already started our sketch. We're going to create. We've got a circle here, 1. Let's make sure it's in the center. If it's not in the center, escape and press enter to go back in your circle function. 1 and 2. Our dimensions here. Let's check quickly. My memory is not that great, so we have 16 and enter. Next one we have 30. 30 and enter. And we have a rectangle here, the bottom in the center. A rectangle right there. And I'm going to draw a line downwards to be able to center the rectangle. Let's go to constraint, coincident, clicking on that line and looking for the center point. Clicking on the center point, and now let's put a dimension. There's a dimension there, and we can see the dimension there is 15 by 50. So we've got 15 by 50. Remember, this is not your actual manufacturing drawing, so you can just put down your dimensions everywhere. You don't need to put it in the center. Another rectangle there. Let's go look at the size of the rectangle. We've got 12. If we go straight across, we're having a height of 45 there. Okay, so we've got a width of 12 and we've got a height of 45. If that is 20, and this is 45 degrees, and then that will also be 20 millimeters. So it's 20 by 12. Dimension, we've got 12 there, and then we have 20 on the side. Enter, and let's go and put in center this. We're going to constraint again, and we're going to press center point to center point, and that's nicely centered. And let's put in our height, our distance from the center there to our rectangle. Let's go back and check. We're having 45 plus 15. I should have done it there, but I know that that is 60. So let's type in 60. Enter. And let's start with our tangent, line number 1. From this corner, I'm drawing a line outwards, escape and enter. From that corner there, left click and going outwards. Let me just say escape. I need to see if it's touching there. Okay, it does. Go to your constraints, click on tangent, and click on left click, left click, left click, left click, and then we're going to go to trim, modify, trim, and we're going to take off this. It seems that our tangent didn't form there. Left click, modify and trim. And now let's go look at our extrusion distances. Delete this from the center, escape, press left click on the line and press delete. And now let's go look at our extrusion distance. We have a distance here for the rectangle of 110. We had it as 50 for the width, so we're going to go 110. If we extrude, let's click on here and press, type in there 110, 110, 0. Seems like the 0 does not want to work. Right, and press OK. Let's press the home button there so to be able to see that. And then we're going to click on the plus sign on the left hand side, right click and left click on share sketch. Now you can extrude it well. You can see I did not double extrude. So to extrude in that direction will make you extrude to that point, take a material away, extrude to this point, and then take material away, then you will have that. But double extrude is easier. So I'm going to double click on my extrude and click it on double. Okay. Or symmetrical extrusion. I'm going to say E for extrude. I'm clicking on there and there. And I'm going to go double. Let's go see what is our width. Our width for these are 40 plus 15 plus 15. We're going to go all the way out until there. So we're going to say 70 millimeters. 70. And we're going to say OK. Let's say if we extrude again, and we're going to do a cut. Select the very same surfaces and double, and we know that the center there is 40, and we're going to type in 40 there. Say cut. There we go, guys. We're going to extrude again when you go all the way out by 70, which is all the way, plus 20 on both sides, which is 40. My 0 is a little bit stubborn. And there we have that on both sides, and say OK. And say E for extrude again. Click in the center. Go for a double. And we know we have 40 there in the middle. Right, and we're going to stick with 40 and say OK. With a cut and say OK. And that's what we have. And now, since we have that, we're going to sketch on the side. Clicking on sketch, and we're going to click on the side there, and we're going to draw our line from this corner downwards to there, and we can do it on this side as well. Escape and enter. There's a corner from there to there. Press E for extrude. Finish the right click, finish the sketch, and press E for extrude. We need to click on there. Okay, it seems that it wants a complete closure there. In the previous inventors, you could just extrude it. So let's go double click on the sketch we have created, sketch number 2. Double click, and let's close the sketch. Doesn't matter if you go up till there or there, it will still be something that will be extruded out. Escape and enter. E for extrude, or right click and finish first. Remember that. E for extrude, click on these shapes and go in that direction. It's already on cut, and say OK. I don't want that drawing there, so I'm going to right click on the sketch and delete and take away the visibility. If you need to see it, right click. We can see the visibility again. Right click and left click on visibility, and there we have it. Right, there is our bracket. I'm going to give it a color because many parts is going to be assembled in there. Let's make it gold and let's save it. Now please choose a nice folder. Mine is in documents, right? I can go anywhere that I want to. Let's say pictures, right? And I'm going to call it, that's our first part. You can call it, this will be your name in your material list as well. So call it the right thing. And the right thing is to call it bracket. You can call it roller bracket because a roller fit in there, but stay with the name there. And we're calling it bracket. There's our bracket. Right click, create a folder for yourself. Click on new. We have some loading here. Let's say that's our bracket. Let's say right click on there, left click on new, and click on folder and call it roller assembly. Okay, there's our roller assembly. We're going to double click on the folder and then save our bracket in there. Make sure all your material are saved in the same folder. Right, I'm going to go and open up a new drawing again. This is what you do. New drawing. If your computer is slow, please close this. You can close it if you want to. You can close that. It's already saved. Or you can just leave it open if you want to. Let me close that and say launch, new, standard millimeter IPT. And I'm going to say sketch. And I'm going to click on XY plane. And let's go for the next part. The next part is our pulley. Now there's one thing that you need to know when you draw a pulley or roller. You go look at your hole. You don't want to draw this whole thing like that. It's important that you only draw the outer lines. Once you see your hole, you go, there's your center line. You skip the hole and then you start in this corner for any roller or pulley. And then you follow the outer line. Just follow the outer lines. And that's the shape that you will draw. That is the exact shape that you will draw, and you will revolve it with your radius there. So I'm going to draw it and put it up. So here we have 30 and 5 and 5 because that is 20. I'm going to start drawing the shape. Let's go. Here's my line. Not rectangle. We're going to draw straight away. Say, okay, there we have that. Make sure you get more or less your 30. Okay, let's just click the center to get it in the center. And I'm going to go up to the left, down at an angle, that side. Make sure you align there. Go that way. Don't worry what it looks like as long as the shape is more or less right. And now we're going to dimension this. I can see we're having 5 and 5 there. And the whole length is 30. So let me first put in my 5s. I've got a 5 there. Enter. I've got a 5 here. Enter. And then we have a 3, 0. 3, 0. Okay, our 5s is in there. I'm going to draw a line straight down. Okay, there's my line straight down. And now I'm going to tangent. Now I'm going to coincident. Clicking on the line and there in the center. This line need to be locked down onto that point. Okay, that's exactly in the center now. But I also know that this distance from that point to there is 20. It's already 20. We are happy with that. Let's go look at the height. Our height here, from that point that way, we got a total radius diameter of 60. In other words, the distance from there to there is 30. So since we have a diameter of 20 there, that part of the hole up till there is 10 millimeters. So we have a height of 20. Going back, and I'm going to type in 20. Enter. Now we need to know what's the height here. And let's go look. we have a diameter of 50. So the height from this point minus 10, from there to there is 25, minus the 10 millimeters is 15. So let's go type in our 15, or put in the 15 dimension. From that point to there, we've got 1, 5, enter. And that's what we have. I'm going to delete the line in the center, and now we're going to put in our radius. Put a line below that, and we know that this radius from that point to there is 10. This is where we get our radius, because we have a 20 there, so that distance there is 10. So going back to the drawing, I'm going to type in my 10. Let's say enter there first to get it 10 there. And I'm going to say R for revolve. I'm going to click on the profile. It's already selected. So I'm going to click on the radius now. If it doesn't select, guys, please make sure you have your profile. It's already, so you can click on there and then select your profile. And then you're going to go to your axis. There's my axis. Clicking on the axis, it's a 360 revolve. You can also change it there if you need it to be less. Okay. I'm going to leave this as that. That color is fine for me. And I'm going to save it. And I'm going to call it roller. There you can see that your bracket is in there, roller. And save. Wonderful. I'm going to click it away, or you can leave it open if you have a powerful PC. Next one. The next one is our bush. There's 3 diameters, and I'm going to draw these diameters. I'm going to start with 20, 16, and 30. So launch, sketch, XY. I'm going to go to my circle in the center, 20. It's my first circle, second circle, and third one. Look at the dimensions. We've got 16, 30, and 20. Enter. There's the stubbornness of my 0 button again. And then we have 16. And now we're going to have our 20. Okay. To 0. And say yes. There we go. And now we're going to look at our extrusion distances. My first distance of extrusion is 5, which is this outside part of 30, between 30 and 20. And then the next one for this little ring there, we have a distance protruding all the way out for 20. E for extrude. That part there is 5 millimeters. Okay. The next one is click on the plus sign, right click, share the sketch, E for extrude. That part needs to go out all the way 20 millimeters. We don't want to cut, we want to add material, and say okay. There's our bush. Give it a color. That's fine. Let's hide these dimensions. Right click visibility and save. Bush. Remove it. Launch again. New. Double click. And let's say sketch. Same thing. And let's go to our shaft. Our shaft there is 10 and 16. So we're going to go back and put in these 2 diameters. And then we have 10. Let's go look at our shaft. I'm going to double extrude because it will be symmetrical. I'm going to go out totally 76, and then I'm going to chamfer that by 3 millimeters. So I'm going to say E for extrude, make it totally solid, double. Got a total distance of 70. Okay, and then I'm going to go to modify, and there's our chamfer. It's looking for the edges, edge number 1, and then edge number 2, we need it as 3, and we say apply. And there we have our shaft or our pin. Let's color this in lead. It's a little bit more the same color. It's fine as the bushes. Let's save it and call that our pin. Save. Now guys, that is how you save your drawings, and the next video I will show you guys how to assemble this video. Thank you very much guys. I will see you